Good morning guys and welcome back to the channel. So had a little drive out in the Lamborghini just to turn the wheels on Saturday. Went down to Ilfracombe and got stopped by a couple of subscribers who wanted to thank us for the channel and saying they're really enjoying it, so that's great to know. And came into work this morning with a little note that had been put through the door. Hello Lee, we've watched you on YouTube mate, keep up the good work. Give us a shout out, Alison and Jamie. So thanks a lot for coming across, Alison and Jamie. They come over just to say hello, but unfortunately we weren't here on the Saturday. They said check out your cameras, so we've had a look, and your green Focus RS mate looks absolutely wicked on camera. My favourite colour if I'm honest, although I'm an orange man, do like the green. So yeah, thanks a lot guys. So you can see down here guys, the MGB is almost done. We've took it off the stand just so we can get the back plate on, because the back plate is what holds the rear main seal. There's a few little bits to sort of do, but as you can see with the black and the magenta, looks really, really nice. A few new bolts at the front and that. Yeah, Paul's done a really good job on that. And hopefully the customer will be happy. Right, over here we have the 4.2 Jag, or one of them. This is the block for this lot here that we've been waiting for quite a while. I have finished boring it. It's cleaned at plus 20 actually, which is good. Just give it a lick over. I think we've sort of took about 6 thou off this, so we will do it. Obviously, we do a dummy build. Might have to take a bit off the pistons. Try and wrap it back. Let's have a little look, see if it's all clean. So you put the end cover on just to make sure that there's no step here. We have to do on all the Jags. And yeah, that looks really good. So Isaac is actually in the process of honing this V8 here. So this is the one that we've got set up over there. We've done the heads. Still waiting for the crank assembly to come back, because obviously we can't balance the V8s. We send them to our friends at CTM Performance. I think this one is honing it to plus 20. All seems to be good. So once he's finished this, we'll get the Jag up there and we'll finish honing the Jag, and then we can continue to make this one look nice, because this has got to look like a show motor. This is going to be absolutely lovely. So it'll be core plugs out, all the oil plugs out, give this a good old blast on the outside and paint it. So update here on the Morris 8. As you can see, liners are in. It's faced but not properly faced. These are still a little bit proud really. Just going to wait to get the inserts in and all the seats cut, and then I'll face it. But as you can see, I've sort of roughed it out. It's all ready for the inserts to go in. The inserts have just turned up, so I'll hammer those in a moment and cut the seats, and we're nearly there. You can see the guides are in. The only trouble is with these, you've got to push the guides back to actually get the tool down the hole to be able to cut the seats. So it's a bit of a weird process, but I have to sort of knock the guides down, and then once I've cut everything, I have to push the guides back up and then vacuum everything and hope that nothing's sort of moved out of alignment. But that's usually what you have to do on these, because they sit so close to the top. But yeah, usually all right. So get that one finished after lunch. So as you can see guys, all the inserts are in. Now if you have a look down the base here, all looks a little bit rough at the minute, but all I've done is just sort of roughly ground out the weld that was put in there, because obviously most of this was filled up with weld. So all I've done is just got the inserts in, roughed it all back, and what I'm going to do now is just set it up. I'm just going to top these seat inserts to the height that I want, and then I'm going to cut the seats to get the valves the height I want them. So there we go guys, see all the seats are cut now. Let's get this thing up on the mill and get it faced. But before we go any further guys, I just want to run into the meaning of today's thumbnail and title. We've been going on now for what, 8-9 months this channel, and as you all know well, that we like to be as truthful as we can. We like to entertain you guys, we like to tell you the truth, we like to show you all the ins and outs, the disasters, the good stuff, the bad stuff. But I think this is a bit of a serious one really. As much as we go on about warranties and what have you on this channel, and sort of make out how much of a disaster it is for us guys and what we need to be careful of, we think it's just as important to educate you guys on the channel about the potential risks as a customer, as far as dealing with some of these companies. For a good few years now, this industry here, the engine building and the mechanics industry and stuff like that, you know, the aftermarket sort of car repairing industry as a whole, has always had this sort of backstreet, bit dodgy reputation, I think. And all that seems to come from, you know, people that jump into this game and maybe not do things as well as they should do. They're just in it for the money, and they'll do anything they can to pull the wool over the customer's eyes and just get what money they can out of them. And that gives people like ourselves, who are honest and try and do the best job we can, and charge accordingly, a bad reputation really to start off with. So, and it's up to us. That's one of the reasons for this channel really. It's up to the company to prove that they're not like that. So I think it's very important that we sort of sit down with you today and just have a chat and give you a couple of examples of reasons why you guys need to be careful when you're dealing with places like ours, and that same sort of industry. So yeah, let's head on in the office and I'll just give you a couple of examples and let you know what I'm on about really. Right guys, come and sit yourself down. Let me educate you. So, yeah, fairly serious topic, I think. I've been thinking about doing a video about this for a while, and maybe I have mentioned it before in a video, but at the moment I'm getting an alarming amount of phone calls off people asking for quotes on various engines, whether it be classic or performance or modern. It's usually the same story. They say that they've been on the internet, phoned around or emailed various companies, and they're coming back and giving us quotes that they've been estimated or quoted of ridiculously low prices. Now, the trouble is with this, the first thing people are going to do with a lot of things is they're going to go on price, especially with the modern stuff, because the modern stuff, as I've said before, they don't want it to cost them anything. It's an inconvenience, whereas the classic and performance, that's their choice. It's a sort of hobby, and they are going to be under the impression it's going to cost them a few quid. But yeah, they're coming back with these prices, and I'm thinking they can't do it for that. And I'm trying to educate them. I don't want to sound to them like that we're trying to sell them something and you know, justify the extra price. We're just stating to them, look, whoever's quoting you this, they can't do it for that. We've been in this game for years and years. We know how much parts cost. We know how much time costs, and we know what is involved in doing these engines, and they're just not going to do it for that. So when I said to you out in the workshop that I'm going to give you a couple of examples, one of them is, and I always use this to customers, this one example, it's actually someone that I know, and I think I've said this before in a previous video, but he had a Sprinter van. Before he spoke to me, he got one of these quotes up country, ridiculously low. It's about £1,800 to take the engine out, recondition it, put it back in. Well, I could have told him straight away, you're not going to do it for that. He sent the van up, and they've took the engine out, they've stripped it completely, then they've told him it's going to be about 2 or 3 times, whatever it was, more than what they said. And of course he hadn't got the money. By then, his van's in the compound, the engine's out in a million bits all over the place, and what's he going to do? So this is one scam, you know what I mean? And this is, as far as you guys are concerned, some of you that don't really know anything about engines and this sort of industry, how are they to know? They go on, they've got the flashy website and all this, they look pro, and they probably sound all right on the phone, but they're going to get done over. So my advice is just be very aware, ring around, phone reputable places, you know, go on Google, ones that have got the good reviews, ring them up and get a good idea of what it's going to cost before you just go for the cheapest, you know, and these places that sound too good to be true. Another one is what I heard the other day, and this is really the one that made me sort of do this video. A restoration company up country, someone sent me the tag on the video of this, they got investigated. They were involved in the sort of general specialised servicing, but mainly sort of restoration of classic cars. What they were doing, they were taking in vehicles, they were promising the earth, giving it all this, and taking quite large deposits. They were even, over the period of 1-2 years, telling the customer that they've spent the deposit on this, on that, whereas they were just pocketing the money. They weren't actually doing any work whatsoever on the cars. And of course, this was fairly recent, so that they were using COVID, classic COVID, you can't come anywhere near to have a look at your car and all this. I suppose really these people are a bit narcissist, you know, they don't care about anyone but themselves. The moral of this video, guys, is just be aware, whether it be an engine builder's, whether it be even a general garage, even if your car's been recovered to a garage, do your homework, ring around, get in touch with reputable companies and just get good ideas of prices before you go for the cheapest and people that promise you the earth. Yeah, just be very aware, guys. As I say, that person there, I'm not quite sure what's happened. I think it's a sort of ongoing investigation really, but yeah, pocketed thousands and thousands of pounds of people's money and not actually done anything with the cars. So yeah, total crooks. You've got to feel for these people. You're talking thousands of pounds of people's hard-earned money, and they're expecting it to be spent. It's the same with us, you know, we could probably do the same. Companies that portray themselves as being a reputable company like ourselves, they're just taking money in. So, you know, with things like that, get invoices, get proof of where the money's going and what it's going on. Don't pay deposits on things just willy-nilly. You know, you want to see what's been done and what's been bought. If it's a reputable company like ourselves, on big engine builds, we will order all the parts once we've spoke to the customer and we've decided what they're going to go ahead about. This is way before any labour or machining. We discuss with them what parts we're going to buy and what they agree to buy. We will go and buy them, get those parts in, then I will invoice the customer, and then the customer can come in, see the parts and pay for the invoice there. Do not go giving big large chunks of money to people, especially in like personal accounts and all the rest of it, where you just don't know where it's going to go. Just be aware, guys. Unfortunately, this industry, as many others are, I suppose, it's just full of crooks, and we don't want you to be stung. We want you to get the best value for your money. Massive thank you to Sam down at Tintin Express in Barnstaple. If you haven't already, guys, have a look at Sam's YouTube channel, Express Performance. Shows you how these things are done. I find it really interesting, and he's just started out, so yeah, give it a go, guys, and hit that subscribe button if you can. We've got the Transit back, and this has been PPF'd. You can see it hasn't been sign written, and I'll go into that in a moment as to why not. But what Sam's done at the moment, he's put the PPF covering on. This is the ceramic type, the new style PPF, and I can now safely say I don't have to be careful how far I drive behind people. This is fully protected. It's great against stone chips and what have you. So with this sort of paint anyway, you know what modern paints are like, they're not very thick or whatever, so this just saves the whole front end and what have you for getting chipped up. So what we've done, he's done the full bonnet, bumper. He said because these are the MSRT, they don't actually do patterns for this, so he's had to do it in 2 pieces, split at the middle, which you can barely see, to be honest. And he said where the front bumper comes out like this, it's so many different shades. He said it was an absolute nightmare, but he's done all the front bumper, which is absolutely brilliant. He's done the lights, he's done the wings, the kit down here, all the kit's been done. The front of the roof's been done, the wing mirrors obviously, and then round the back you've got down here where it can all sort of chip up from the tires, all down here, all the front of the kit, and then he's done round the back here on the edge of the bumper there, all the little renowned bits that normally get chipped up and stone chips. It just makes it, as I say, it's just peace of mind that you can drive around. If you're too close to someone, you know, in front of you, and they throw up a rock or something, it's not going to get done. Plus, to be honest with you, it makes it look nice and glossy with that PPF on it. So all my vehicles are doing this. The Lambo's been done, the Mercedes has been done. So it's a really, really good project, and Sam is absolutely brilliant at doing it. I wouldn't give my work to anyone else. So yeah, check that out, guys. But moving on to the sign writing, when we first put this in one of our previous videos about doing the sign writing, we had quite a lot of you guys saying or suggesting that we didn't go too wild, because obviously the MSRT is a fantastic looking van with all the kit. There's quite a lot going on, so I have seen a few vans going around with all the signs up the side here and all, and I think it looks a little bit too much. And as I say, a lot of comments in the videos I've done before about it have said, look, they said the same thing, don't go too wild, it looks a bit tacky. So I think what we might do is we might just put some sign writing on this rear panel here, and maybe, I don't know, maybe do a very thin sort of black pinstripe up the side, something like that, I don't know. But yeah, we're thinking just behind the rear window, some subtle sort of writing, just so people know it's the Barham Engines van. But the reason we haven't done that yet is because I've had a little bit of a boo-boo. I put my mountain bike in the back last week and I heard a little bit of a bang and the things fell over. And I didn't realise anything had happened until I come to clean the van in the evening. And in the right light, or the wrong light, I'll show you what I've done. You see that? Around here, there's actually 4 little dings that are done from the inside. So I'm absolutely livid about that. They sort of look worse because of the reflection. But I've got our guy, Pro Dent, he's coming around, top man. What he can't get out, ain't gonna come out, to be honest. But he's gonna come this afternoon and he's gonna get those out for me. So obviously we didn't want to do anything on there until he got them out. But yeah, I was absolutely livid about that. This panel here, I didn't really think about it, but this panel here is the sort of same on the inside, so it's very, very thin. What I'm going to do is get it ply lined behind there, I think, and then sort of carpet the sides so it's all nicely protected. But yeah, didn't think it through, guys. Mountain bikes fell over, and I think the brake levers done about 4 little dings in there. So absolutely livid, but fingers crossed he can get them out. Well, guys, I'm absolutely buzzing. We've had our chap in here, my friend from Pro Dent. If any of you guys, well, certainly if you're local to us, but even if you're not, it's worth getting him out there. He's really busy, but man, is he a magician. He's turned up, and as you can see by my reflection, he's got those dents out, and that is absolutely perfect. There's no way you would ever see that that's even had a dent in there, and there was 4 of them. He said I was really lucky, any deeper and it would have been a bit more of a mission, but he was literally here at 10 minutes. So can't thank him enough. As I say, Pro Dent, check him out, and if you've got any dents or anything like that, give him a shout. Well, thanks ever so much for watching, guys. Sorry about the negative note, but I think it needs to be said. You guys need to be careful. We need to educate you on where's best to spend your money. So if you haven't already, guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you in another video. Take care.